Political fireworks and firepower in Iraq. The Iraqi parliament rejected the nominees for defense and interior ministers. That leaves two key Iraqi positions open as Iraq announced a new wave of U.S. airstrikes against extremists in the country.
The American airstrike started Monday, targeting chosen objectives in southern Baghdad. These airstrikes will be a continuation and a beginning of other operations. The Joint Air Cell will outline the targets. By doing so, the airstrikes are aimed at liquidating all Islamic militants in the areas near Baghdad.
That marked the first time the American bombing campaign hit a target near Baghdad. The strikes also destroyed 6 Islamic State vehicles near Sinjar. U.S. lawmakers are debating the expansion of the military campaign in Iraq and possibly going into Syria. Jessica Stone has been monitoring that for us. And Jessica, some tough talk from Congress.
Indeed, plenty of skepticism up here on Capitol Hill earlier today as they were briefed by Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Martin Dempsey, and Secretary of Defense, Chuck Hagel. They really got a preview in many ways of what U.S. President Barack Obama will get tomorrow when he is personally briefed by his U.S. military commander for U.S. Central Command in Florida. And, of course, he already got to meet this morning with General John Allen, who will lead the effort to put the coalition together. But back to Syria, we heard more details about the plan to arm and train those moderate Syrian rebels, which needs authorization from all of Congress in order to go forward. Well, here's what the plan looks like at this point. We heard that the training essentially could be set up in about 3 to 5 months. That's the length it would take, and that the objective is to train about 5,000 of these rebel fighters a year, that the Defense Department does not believe it will have trouble identifying them, and that the cost will be about $500 million a year. The ultimate goal being to train 12,000 of these Syrian fighters. But at this point, Republicans don't think they can pass a measure to authorize the training without Democratic help. And some Democrats aren't sure they want to support this measure either.
It is Bashar Assad that has killed many more of them than ISIL has. And for us to say that we are going to go in and help and train and equip these people and only to fight against ISIL, you're not going to get many recruits to do that, General. I guarantee you that.
There will always be a risk in a program like this. But we believe that risk is justified by the imperative of destroying ISIL and the necessity of having capable partners on the ground in Syria.
But there's a tight timeline, at least for half of the U.S. Congress to vote. The U.S. House of Representatives leaves after Thursday in order to take about a week break to go back to their home districts. And the Senate will be here, but they both need to vote on this, Elaine.
And Jessica, a question raised by several lawmakers. Does U.S. President Barack Obama plan to send American ground forces to Iraq or Syria? What did military leaders have to say about that?
Well, this is where there's a bit of a divide between the U.S. military and the U.S. president in the sense that the U.S. military commanders don't want anything to be completely off the table if the need arises. So what we heard from U.S. General Martin Dempsey was that if he feels it's needed, he would go to the president to ask for those U.S. combat troops, especially in an embedded role with the Iraqi security forces for a large military operation. But after those comments were made, the White House pushed back very forcefully, saying that under no circumstances is the president willing to consider combat troops, and that Dempsey was potentially speaking under a hypothetical set of circumstances. Elaine?
All right, CCTV's Jessica Stone reporting live from Capitol Hill.